guys, this is Taylor and I'm here today to share with you my TBR for Japanese June. So Japanese June was, I think, only really officially held in 2015. It was an initiative led by Mercedes, Vanessa, Sabrina, and Colleen. All of their channels are linked below. And it was just a push to read Japanese literature, maybe some things that you had been putting off. I did it in 2016 and I really enjoyed it, so I'm bringing it back this year. I really think I might be the only person doing it this year, but that is a-okay. I have a big TBR here that I am just about 99% sure that I'm not going to get through, but here it is regardless. The first book I'll be reading this month, I'll tell you straight off the bat, I will not be finishing this month. That is The Invention of Religion in Japan by Jason Ananda Josephson. This is the religious history of Japan with a focus on how Japan really had no organized religion before it was opened up to the Western world. And I've technically been reading this since the beginning of the year, like January 1st, and I'm on page 49. It's definitely the densest, most dense work of nonfiction that I've ever read. It's definitely an academic text. It takes a long time to read, but I will be working on it during this month. Next, it wouldn't be Japanese June on this channel without a Murakami, and this month I will be going for Sputnik Sweetheart. This will be my 8th Murakami, 9th if you count Hear the Wind Sing and Pinball 1973 as 2 different books. I don't know how that happened either way. And from what I can tell, this has a male narrator who is in love with a former female classmate who is in love with a much older woman, and then the classmate disappears and our narrator starts to have these haunting visions of some kind. Next up, I would love to get to Bending Adversity, Japan and the Art of Survival by David Pilling. This is a big old nonfiction book about not only the 2011 earthquake and tsunami, but also about the general mentality of the Japanese people in going through the many hardships that Japan has endured and always finding positives, always rebuilding, things like that. And I have already started this, and so far it's pretty amazing. I would also really like to get to the Themachioka Sisters by Junichiro Tanizaki. This will be my first Tanizaki, and this is about 4 women in Osaka just before World War II, really clinging to Japanese tradition even as the pressure is mounting to become more westernized. In prepping to make this video for today, I actually saw that this book has been argued to be the most important Japanese novel of the 20th century, so this is one that I'm really gonna prioritize this month. Also a first for me, I will hopefully be getting to Confessions of a Mask by Yukio Mishima. I've been putting off reading Mishima for a long time, just because it seems like the general literary consensus is that he's such an important figure in Japanese literature, and then everyone I know who has read him has been like, he's super sexist, he has a whole host of problems, it was not an enjoyable read. Regardless, I'm gonna give this one a go. This is about a young man in post-war Japan who is figuring out that he might be gay, and that is just not really an option at the time, so he ends up hiding behind a figurative mask, and I'm sure this novel is about him internalizing a lot of really horrible stuff, so we'll see about this one. I would also like to get to NP by Banana Yoshimoto in June. This is a novel about an author who has written a short story collection called NP, and every time that this story collection, because it's written in English, begins to be translated into Japanese, the translator dies. Because the blurb on the back is so ambiguously written, when I first received this copy, I thought that the blurb was misgendering Banana Yoshimoto and identifying her as male, but now I can see that I'm just an idiot. The last 2 books on this TBR are just a little lower priority for me. They're the books that I'm least likely to get to this month, but of course, in an ideal world, I would get to all of them, but these are just a little lower priority because they are set in Japan but not by Japanese authors. The first of these is The Tea House Fire by Ellis Avery. This takes place in the 1800s in Japan and actually follows an American orphan who is adopted by a Japanese family. Don't know how likely that is, but we'll go with it. This family runs a tea ceremony school, and the adoptive daughter and a biological daughter of the family become inseparable, and I think they actually fall for each other in some way. So it's a really interesting premise to me. And lastly, for this TBR, I have Number 9 Dream by David Mitchell, and I have read the back of this book a million times and I still have no idea how to possibly sum it up, so I'm just gonna read some snippets from the back. Living with Grandma on an outer island of Japan gave Eiji a lot of time to fantasize about what might happen if he were to be united with the wealthy father he's never known. At 20, Eiji comes to Tokyo to find him, but what should be a straightforward quest turns into something far more strange when Eiji stumbles upon the hidden power centers of the Japanese underworld. Suddenly, the riddle of his father's identity is the least of his worries. What do survival, the nature of dreams, and the number 9 have to do with each other? I really don't know what to make of this, but it's David Mitchell, so I think that's pretty much the point. I think that's pretty much the vibe. So that is everything that I could conceivably get to in June. If you have any plans to participate in Japanese June, even if it's just one book, definitely let me know so I just know that you're out there. And I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye!